Hey, I've got a story to tell you. You may remember a few months back I shared one of my Me Too stories and I shared how to heal it. So, how I went through the healing process and a practice that you can do too. And 3 weeks later, I kid you not, I went up to Santa Barbara to go to a community singing event. And I love those things. Like, I just love to sing in group. And I walked in and there's the guy. I haven't seen him in like, I don't know, 15 years. And he's at this like singing thing where there's maybe 15 or 20 people and my whole body just went into contraction. I was like, oh shit, I don't want to deal with this. But then as I sang, I just kept asking for my heart to open and my heart to open and my heart to open. And I saw him in a different light and I could see the vulnerability in him. And so I decided at the end I was going to go up to him and apologize, or not apologize, I was going to go up to him and tell him that I forgave him. And so I did. I walked over to him and I said, hey, how's it going? I just want to let you know that I forgive you. And he said, for what? And I said, you grabbed my boobs 25 years ago. And he said, I did. And we chatted for a minute or two and he had no recollection. Like he honestly didn't remember. He seemed really shocked. And I just said, well, whether you remember or not, I just want you to know I forgive you. And then I went over to my husband, Craig, and we left. So about a month and a half, 2 months later, I get a note from him on Facebook. He says that this guy, he said that he joined Facebook just to reach out to me because he's been thinking about it a lot and that he did remember and he wanted to talk with me if I would be up for that. And he offered to have Craig be there if that felt better for me, or just to email or be on the phone, whatever I would be comfortable with. And so I was just sitting with that. And then the next day, the fire started here and we evacuated. So I didn't really think about it. I just kind of let it go. And 3 days later, we had evacuated up to this little town, Pismo Beach, north of here, about 2.5 hours. And he doesn't live in the same town as me. He lives in Santa Barbara. I live in Ojai. And I'm walking on the beach in Pismo, and there he is. Again, I haven't seen him except for that one time in 15 years, and then the second time right after he sent me that note on Facebook, like 2 days later, in this totally random town. So I said to him, well, I guess we're supposed to have this conversation now. And he started tearing up. And he said, I don't know if I can do this without this, like meaning crying. And I said, it's fine with me. Whatever emotions need to come up, let's do it. So we sat on the beach and he said, I want you to know that I do remember. And I was in a really, dissociated place in my life at that point. And I was in a band and I thought I was really cool and I was really narcissistic. And I remember you talking about your shirt and I thought it would be funny to grab you like that. And then he said, you looked at me and you said, oh, I don't want to say his name. So you looked at me and I said his name really angrily, and which surprised me because I didn't remember that part. And then he said that he realized that he'd done something wrong, but then he didn't really think about it again until I saw him that day a couple months earlier and talked to him about it. And he wanted to let me know that he was really sorry, that he had felt really bad about it, that it had hurt his heart, that he had done that he was just really ashamed of himself, and he took complete and full responsibility, which to me was incredibly healing. And in the moment, I felt this sense of like it trickled through and healed all of the other events that have happened in my life with men where things were off or inappropriate or abusive. It was like an opening. And I said to him, right now, you and I are healing this masculine and feminine rift that's happening. We are in the process of healing. And this fire has brought us together in this beautiful spot on the beach to do this work. And I really feel like that's true. So I wanted to share this story with you because I really feel like, I see it all the time with my clients and my students that when you do this inner healing, the external reflects to show you. This was such a clear example, and the timing was so just clockwork of what happens when you do healing work and then the universe comes back around to say, okay, here you go. So I felt this complete closure with the whole thing. And again, like I said, this deeper healing with all of the other events that have happened in my life. So I wanted to share that with you as inspiration. I hope that his words of apology can also be healing to you, and that you can take that and receive that and allow that to move through you in whatever way might be supportive to you today. So I hope that the story has touched your heart in some way, and I hope you are enjoying your day wherever you are in the world, and I look forward to connecting with you again really soon.